My F20 BF, M22, came inside of me without consent after having sex for the first time. Edit. I do want to mention that I am on birth control. But I still didn't want him to do it because it is not exactly 100% safe after all. Edit 2. We agreed on these two factors. Birth control and pulling out beforehand because he said condoms would ruin sex. A few days ago, my BF and I had sex for the first time. It wasn't his first time, but I lost my virginity that day. It definitely hurt, but I was mostly okay until he finished inside of me. We've had conversations long before having sex where we agreed that he wouldn't come inside of me, even if I'm on birth control. The only exception would be if I had a Plan B pill to take right after. But he did it anyway. He told me he's gonna come in me and I said no. But he was already doing it. What he did definitely shocked me in that moment, and I almost felt betrayed by how he could do something like this without my consent. He apologized for it after and said he won't do it again. We went to take shower together and laid back down to walk something after. I still had a bit of a sad look on me because of what he did, obviously. When he asked me about it, I explained to him that I don't resent him, but I'm still feeling a bit off after what happened, and because he did it without consent, basically against my will because I was telling him no. He said he understands, but still started getting kinda upset and defensive, saying I'm making it sound like he raped me because I used the words against my will when I was explaining and why I'm dwelling on it. I've forgiven him by now, but it's definitely something that really hurt my feelings, especially considering that I had just lost my virginity to him, and him acting this way right after. He is my first boyfriend ever and I love him very much. We've known each other for over 2 years and have a very good relationship. But I don't know if this is something that I should be taking a bit harder. Did I forgive him too easily? Any advice would be appreciated. Please don't attack me though. The fact that he had time to warn you means he knew and could pull out. Him still ignoring your protest is atrocious, and I'm sorry your first time, or any time, was with such a disrespectful, selfish person. Consent during sex should always be there. I think you forgave him too easily. He shouldn't do that. I understand you have been together for 2 years. But only way he should do that is if you were using proper protection and he had your consent beforehand. Take care of yourself. Boundaries are okay and good to have, and they have to be respected by each other. I want to add, since this is your first time, that you shouldn't treat this lightly, since mutual respect and consideration should always be there. Smile. The man that did this to me? Yeah, he ended up doing a lot more than that unconsensually over time. Do not be gaslit by him. Revoke your forgiveness. TBH. Yes, it was against your will. Yes, that is akin to rape. And if he doesn't like that, then he can go come in a cactus next time. Your word goes. And I cannot get over the fact that he did this on your first time. Especially, like, what is the rest of this relationship going to look like if he can't even manage to follow your wishes for that first moment? Oh, and just in case he said, I couldn't help it, that automatically invalidates his claims that he won't do it again, because he will use the same excuse next time. Please take this as a serious undermining of your autonomy. Just because he got pissy about it doesn't mean you were wrong, or that it wasn't a big deal. At any point, on any given day, if someone gets upset just because you get upset, they are manipulating you and avoiding responsibility. Condoms, 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 condoms. Please tell me you went right out and got Plan B? Look, I know you don't want to think of it this way. Your boyfriend violated your agreed upon boundaries. He decided in that moment that your health Safety and feelings mattered less than his pleasure. This is a man you cannot trust. You can never trust him again. And you can't build a relationship without trust. He really broke your consent. I understand your feeling. And if you still feel upset about it, you haven't truly forgiven. I think you should rethink the relationship. But the issue of him going outside does not reduce the risk of BC failure. What increases contraception is combining two methods. Pill and condom. For example, pull-out is not a contraceptive method. And taking Plan B while using BC will only mess up all your hormones. And may even mess with the effectiveness of both. Just clarifying that I felt there was a lack of information about contraception. Health professional here. It was against your will and was against your boundaries and the most basic human respect for your safety. Please read about consent to also learn about what happened to you and how you should take it seriously. Trust your guts. Be brave. You deserve better than that. I'm sorry this happened to you. It happened to me too. Sending you hugs and drop me a message if you want to talk maybe. Forgiving someone who's not sorry just makes you a doormat. If there's no repercussions for breaking your boundaries, then what's the point setting them? And most people would consider this rape. You didn't consent and he did it anyway. Plan B and birth control don't do much for STIs. Just saying. Yes, you did forgive too easily. He ignored your boundaries and consent. You literally wrote yourself, he did it anyways. Only reason he got defensive making it sound like he raped you is because he full well knew he ignored your consent. Forgiving him and staying with him is telling him it's okay to ignore your consent. Why aren't you listening when he's showing his true colors? Girl, I think this is totally unacceptable, but that is my opinion. I understand your relationship has been great, but this isn't some small matter. He has to understand that he went against his own words and your agreement that he wouldn't release in you. It's your decision overall, but please in future don't let him or anyone push through your boundaries. Take care, Pink Heart. I'm sorry this happens to you. Quick question. How do you know if he STD checked? You trust him with not having anything, and the fact he came inside you after discussing this weeks before? I dunno. He seems risky. I would put my foot down harder and let him know what's up. Make him wear a condom for the future sexual encounters. If he says no to the condom, break up. Yes. Break up, because he's obviously not respecting anything you say at that point. There's a guy who will respect your boundaries if he won't. This may be besides the point, but condoms? You cannot trust this guy. This is serious, and him getting upset and defensive rather than incredibly apologetic, at the minimum, is a huge red flag to me. Tell him to wear a condom next time. But honestly, if I was you, there would be no next time. The way you tell the story, it's not like the orgasm caught him totally by surprise. Rather, he felt it coming on, announced it, and made no effort to pull out. Just kept enjoying himself at your expense. As though you didn't even matter. Why does he think you should get over it quickly? That seems like a pretty self-serving take. It makes sense to me that you'd be upset when your first time having sex ended with something non-consensual. If he loves you, he should be able to understand why this was so upsetting. Language like non-consensual, against your will, rapey, betrayal of trust, that's all accurate. If he doesn't like that, he shouldn't do it. Now that he's done it, he should be able to take responsibility for himself. Not get upset at you for your reasonable feelings and accurate words. It's nobody's job to minimize what he did and make him feel better about it, certainly not yours. Time to leave. That isn't respect towards you in any sense, no matter what excuse he uses. That was your first time and in 2 years. He just doesn't respect that he just took your virginity? He literally betrayed your trust. It's just like being stabbed in the back by someone you love. Sometimes when you're young and still learning, it's helpful to have someone older just tell you how it is. I am 33. Have been with a lot of dudes. And I can tell you that this is unacceptable. My idiot college boyfriend knew not to finish in me unprotected, even though I was on birth control. And this guy knew too. He chose to do it, knowingly against your will, selfishly ignoring your autonomy in a moment of vulnerability. It's not acceptable or excusable behavior. He said he understands but still started getting kinda upset and defensive, saying I'm making it sound like he raped me. That's because he did. So he should feel queasy about this. At the very least, this guy is bad news. Up. Set strong boundaries right now or else it's gonna be too late. Show him this is serious! Exclamation mark.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.